I was recently at CVS going through the candy aisle when I flipped over one of the labels and saw this where it says product of Mexico. I was a little surprised at that, and then as I looked at some other candies on the rack, I noticed there were other countries. So that asked the question, do you know where your candy comes from? So the 8 candies that I was looking at and purchased are the 8 represented right here: gummy bears, double bubble, sour jacks, peppermint starlights, so on and so forth. But what surprised me the most was these came from totally different countries of the world. So I put a world map here so you can take a look. The 8 countries with little arrows highlighted here. And going through them, these 8 total ones, the first one, Turkey, is where gummy bears come from. So the gummy bears here came from Turkey. Product of Turkey. Kind of odd. Second one here, Spain. Spain is the sour jacks. So these sour jacks come all the way from Spain. The third one, Canada, neighboring country, was the bubble gum. The only one of all these candies from the United States were the mini lollipops. These are the only ones that say product of USA. South of the border in Mexico, jelly beans. You saw before, the jelly beans come from Mexico. Colombia, down here. Colombia is where the winter mints come from. Again, a bit odd that they've got to travel all that way. 7, Argentina, this far down in the southern hemisphere. Peppermint. Not exactly sure why peppermint in Argentina, but plenty of those. And the last one, which is kind of a little scary, number 8 from China. Strawberry taffy rope. Came all the way from China. A little scary when it says reading food, and it goes through in the back, and it is a made in China. We see enough stuff over here in the United States made from China. Getting our candy from China may be a word of caution. That's what the dog food isn't that we had. Of all of these 8 different ones, some are labeled as being genetically modified. So the jelly beans say specifically on them, the lower area here, down in that lower area, product of genetic modification. So a little hard to see. This side here. Produced with genetic engineering. And the date is there. So some of these foods do contain genetically modified. A lot of food that we consume is genetically modified. Just now we're starting to see the labeling for it. So I only made this video just to draw your attention of, while all these might be sitting on racks right in the same aisle, right in the, think they're all candies with all the same packaging, everything looks about the same. But if you start to look at where it comes from, you might want to second guess exactly where or what candies you're purchasing. So the question is, do you know where your candy comes from?